Greetings, everyone. Nathan Nerdarchy here from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, and we are doing our live chat, and I'm hanging out with some nerds.
Nerdarchy is Ted.
Nerdarchy is Dave. What's up, peoples?
So it's that that time of the week. We do this thing every Saturday.
Are you sure?
Well, almost every
Saturday.
To
To be more precise.
So we got some people hanging out with us.
Thanks for joining us on your Saturday.
So we got Star Wars tonight. Woo! We haven't played that in a while.
It has been some time. Is David going to be joining us, or is he officially bailing out?
He's officially done with that game.
Okay, we'll have to make sure we let the GM know. It doesn't need to.
Well, I told him to reach out to the GM and message him privately because that's what he should do as a responsible individual
person.
Yeah, don't be a douchebag. Don't ghost your GM. If you're a girlfriend or your boyfriend, maybe, but not your GM. No, ghosting is bad. We should be more proactive and responsible than that.
I would agree.
An adult.
So I got a couple things to show off here at some point in time. Some thank yous to go along with it.
Cool.
Nate's got the list of stuff that will be Patreon rewards. So if you guys are interested in signing up for that, we got some cool stuff that's planned there.
Also, too, within the next couple of months, the plan is to overhaul the Patreon, right? We've got some cool things in the works. And if you're not a patron, and even if you are, it doesn't matter. We have a free month of Patreon. We're just going to give to everyone. We're going to put it all over the place. You guys can check it out and see what the new Patreon rewards are going to look like. I'm pretty happy with what we've been working on for the last couple months behind the scenes.
4 or 5.
Yeah. So, slowly but surely, I think we're really ratcheting it up. You guys are going to really enjoy the content, and we are going to give you a lot more bang for your buck. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
We also this week we're releasing another product.
We are. You and I shot the promo trailer, I guess you would call it, for it.
Well, it's not the promo trailer overview, what it is. Maybe you guys remember, maybe you don't. Maybe you're new to the channel, but a while back we did our series for Hit Dice, Recovery Dice, kind of based off Brian Berg's Total Party Kill Games supplement he put out, where he uses Hit Dice as a resource. We have a review up on the website someplace. It was done a while ago, where there was a couple of the writers checked it out and even used it in their games. But we found that kind of inspirational, and it was something I've been thinking about Dungeons and Dragons anyway, where we have these big blocky pieces of mechanics that we can use, and I feel like some of them are being underused. So in that video series, we created a bunch of stuff. Then Doug went back and took all those words we spoke and
he transposed it all.
and wrote them down somewheres. And we've been going over several iterations. We found a bunch of cool art we could use to put this product together. So that's cool, and it looks really good. So I'm really happy with it. Doug did an amazing job over there.
So look for that later this week if you're interested in getting yet another official Nerdarchy product.
Yep, Hit Dice 2 Heroics is the title we're going with.
My PDF's right there.
Woo!
Well, yeah.
Ted has the first official printed copy. And I think we're going to try and do a printer-friendly version as well.
Yeah, I believe that is the plan. Nerder Doug, are you in the chat?
He is. I did see him. He might have just went, huh?
Well, I know when we were at Concoction, we were talking about it. And,
yes.
That was something that we definitely wanted to make happen. It does make a smaller number of pages when you go to do that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to print the art and all the
right. Well,
stuff.
You buy the product, you get both copies.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, too, when Doug was putting it together, I'm like, you're going to get a writing credit on this, right? He's like, huh? I'm like, yeah, you literally wrote the thing. All we did is blabber on YouTube. But, you took our blabbering and made it stuff. Yeah. So that is two of the things we're working on. The third thing we are working on is we want to buy. We're looking at April, May.
Late April, early May.
Yeah, to launch a Kickstarter. Our first official Kickstarter, the Out of the Box series. We are going to make it an official book. We are going to get art and maps for it. We are teaming up with Archetype to have the clear plastic painted minis.
The flat plastic minis, as well as the maps. So the plan is, hardcover book if you want it, PDF if you want it, and then you can get just the minis, you can get just the maps, you can get both. We're in talks, in conversations with Josh over at Archetype. He is like, I'm on board. This sounds like a great product that we're gonna work with, and I think this is gonna be a big one.
I think so too. I mean, at this point, we have it in our hands. So I guess we can say that Matt Mercer has written the foreword for us.
Yes,
and
he
it
has.
was a lovely foreword.
Yeah. We did after some back and forth via Twitter and email. He agreed to write the foreword for us. We tried to hire him. He turned us down, and he's like, "You guys do a lot for the community. I'd like to just write this for you guys." And I was almost in tears when I was reading it. It was really good.
I was blown away. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So I'm really looking forward to having that in the book.
Yeah, I was reading the email from Matt in bed, and my wife was next to me, and she's like, "Really?" She made a couple lewd comments. Let's just say.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I read it like 3 times, and then I read it to my children and my wife. So I'm just putting it out there.
Bedtime story.
I pointed out to my wife, and I had to tell her who Matt Mercer was, but she was like, damn, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we've got some art in the works, so we're gonna have a bit of art to show what's examples of what's gonna be in the entirety of the book.
Yeah, if you've seen season 2 and 3 of Saver Dice and the second show on Saver Dice, season 1, that art was done by Kim. What's her full name?
Put me on the spot.
I
Van Cohen.
Something.
That's what I want to say.
Kim.
I'm sorry if I got
Kim
it
does
wrong.
awesome art.
Her name will absolutely be correct in the book and in the credits. But I just remember her as Kim.
Yeah. So me as well.
And we also have somebody also working on art who I met through Discord and the Late Show at 9 p.m. Sunday, Thursday, and Friday. The Mighty Hobbs, who I don't know his real name yet. So
someone from the Nerdarchy community.
Yeah, someone from the Nerdarchy community who gave us the colored cuttlefish, a cuttle seal from one of our monster mashes. He's working on things as well.
Along those lines, if you are an artist and you'd like to work with us, please feel free to reach out to us via email, and we can see whether the stuff you've got is worth using.
Yeah, just include a portfolio with that initial contact.
Yeah, and if we don't select you for the current thing, it might just be that it doesn't work with the current art format or style we have selected.
Right.
Because there was a few artists that I got pointed at that did like colored pencil and a few other things that I really liked. I liked the overall composition of the work, but it was just I don't think it was gonna jive with the style of the 2 artists I've selected.
Fragginator has a question. Will you guys be defacing these tomes, or will that be a pledge level? Yes, absolutely.
Well, I mean, we've been signing books that we didn't write. Why should we sign the books that we did write?
Yeah. I think here's the deal. I think what'll end up happening will be there's a good possibility it'll be a pledge level. But that being said, come find us in person someplace. Bring us your book and we'll sign it.
Always.
Yes. and technically we're producing this one, but the main author is Mike Gold.
Yes.
But going forward, yes, I'm sure we'll have the signatures as a pledge level, whether or not we've actually read them ourselves.
Yeah, sorry about that. We should definitely point out Mike Gould is actually the author. He's a writer on the website. I just say out of the box and figure you guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
and
are
pretty
following
over there.
Yeah, he's pretty prolific on the site.
If you only get the PDF version and you want us to autograph your tablets, we can do that too.
Yeah. And also, part of it, I guess, too, would be like one of the reasons why it would probably have to be a pledge level is because of the way it's going to be produced and shipped and things like that. Like, it's not going to all come to Ted's basement and then get shipped out from there. Probably not.
No, it is not.
So, we're going to have to deal with fulfillment and things like that. And there's a lot of things we're going to have to, figure out for this deal.
Yeah, a lot of the logistics and complications that we have not had previously.
Yes.
But it's fun and exciting because it's, all new experience.
So next level 88 says, "Oh, wow, take my money. Congrats, guys." Truemate says, "Nice, good guy, Mercer. Thumbs up."
Why Ted's reading. But yeah, so that's a thing that's going on. Also, guys, there's a contest going on right now. It's in the description. Yeah, that's the place. In the description, you can find a link to the Gleam contest to win a set of gunmetal dice from Easy Roller Dice. They're in the last 7 days of their Kickstarter. It is already kicked. It's already out there. So it's going to definitely be a thing. Although, they're a little ways away from their last stretch goal, and I hope they get it. Because it's their freestanding bags, and they got these really cool designs on them.
Self-standing leather light dice bags.
Yeah. Well, the next goal is they'll be black with colored.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Colored designs on them.
Colored designs.
Nice.
And they have the mock-up, and they look really good.
I haven't seen the new mock-up.
The mock-up looks amazing. So, yeah, so that's still going on. It's already funded. And there's a Kickstarter. There's the Kickstarter, but there's also the contest that we're using to promote the Kickstarter. And, in there, we're giving away 5 sets of metal dice. So there's going to be 5 winners. So, sign up for it. It's free. It's just clicking a lot of buttons. Pretty much. I think there's 10 different ways to enter. And right now we've got almost 900 people have already entered. So it's cool.
Nice. That's good.
So that's pretty small odds. If 5 people are going to get chosen,
they'll be the chosen ones. and I'm sure you'll be able to pick your color for the gunmetal dice. More than likely, Easy Roller Dice has been really good with us for to work with. So
Tom Harris says Nerdarchy device skins autographed by the crew. Not a bad idea, Ted. James Leslie, who was a player in my game last night, says, "Yeah, the black ones look epic."
Yeah, I just saw them this morning. I was like, hey, you know what? Is this thing still going on? And it was. So also, I can't say it. Why can I never say this mega dungeon from
Rappanatic.
Rappanatic. Yeah, I don't know why. I always want to invert and reverse everything. But, they've also, their Kickstarter is funded. They're friends of Nerdarchy. And I think over 100,000. So they actually 3D print the first level of the dungeon and take it to the conventions with them.
So next level 88 asks if we have an affiliate with Arknight. We don't. I don't know if they do any kind of affiliate program. I do love their stuff. I got a bunch of their minis. I love their maps. So it is great stuff to be able to try and work together to be able to have that stuff. But I could always, talk to them over there and see if that's something they might be open to.
The their stuff is on Amazon. We do have an affiliate there. No, they did turn us into dwarves, so I feel like there's a bond there. Once someone dwarfizes you, you can't break that bond. That's you guys are like brothers for life. Or sisters, as the case may be.
I agree. It's good times.
So, so that's going on. I had the guys on our show yesterday from AbTab. Barker and Tim Kearney, they're always fun to hang out with. They've got their second Kickstarter going for Dragon Grim. It's a campaign setting, and it's a modular campaign setting. So,
great.
A lot of the things, I think they took a lot of the lessons they learned from doing Oath of the Frozen King, and they're trying to take that approach to a whole campaign setting so that you're able to cut it up, use it however you want, and make it your own. I'm curious to see how they pull that off, how that comes out. But, this guy's got a lot of talent over there, so I imagine they're going to do something really cool with it.
Next level 88. Dwarf bonds are set in stone.
Yes.
I'll show myself out. Well done, sir.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing. So, have you guys been enjoying the shows that Kienata, is that how you say it?
Kienata.
Mm-hmm. Kienata and Nate been doing? You guys have been putting out some content.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've had over a month, pretty much.
So is Ulthganya and Chimes of Discordia done yet?
No, not quite.
Come on, man.
I cheated and made...
What are we paying you for?
I cheated and made Ulthganya a Mega Earth, which has like 4 times the surface area of regular Earth.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense considering what we've already talked about.
So we can build almost forever.
Considering we have 2 suns that orbit either pole of the planet.
Exactly. So we're in the southern hemisphere right now, just kind of getting bigger and bigger territories figured out.
So, I mean, totally off, with that topic, is there anything, is there any kind of like celestial event where you can ever see both suns at the same time when you've got a, 2 sun planet?
I don't know. I think that would be some kind of calamity. Maybe like
the end times.
The end times I think might be when that occurs. Okay. Or unless it was something like a really bright star that was behind the sun that might...
Was just a thought, because I mean, in all the times that we've been playing, we've never been like, oh, you can see, 2 suns. Like, there's tons of, Star Wars stuff where you see the multiple moons. And it's like, and you've got 17 moons, it's no big deal. But suns are something very different. So, I don't know, just throwing that out there.
I don't know, because I always picture, like, the dark sides are like,
so you've got the planet here, and the suns do this.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not even sure if they're suns. I'm kind of liking the idea of this being tears to the positive plane. So they're not actually suns at all. It's like some kind of crafted little solar system.
And it's all sitting on a giant shelf in a bottle someplace.
Yeah, it could be just that, or in a crystal sphere. Then you can travel to it from spelljamming.
You mean it's not in a locker on Subway 42?
Or Orion's belt.
It's not a marble in somebody's marble pouch.
So also speaking of crystal spheres, so the Nerdarchy Puff and Forest team up. Session 2 has happened. Also, Cardboard Fortress made an appearance as well.
Yes, he showed up for the second game, which is great.
Yeah,
it was good to have him in there. It changed the group dynamic, but it was a lot. It was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that out because you guys play while we film.
Yes, that's the one thing about sad for you two is that you can't just like hang out and listen to it in the car all the way.
So I'm very curious to see Anthony's portrayal of his. Is he like a sludge priest or something, or a warlock, or
he's a pretty rotund tiefling, like purplish feral tiefling, and he is like a Jubilex warlock, but not. He's like a true worshiper of the ooze, I think.
Yeah.
So he has that kind of quality to him that, like one of the descriptions for how he fell through a hole was he put himself in and he got kind of stuck, but then he kind of like wiggled back and forth and just kind of slothed through, and like so he's got like kind of like a shedding of slime kind of quality to him, and instead of Eldritch blasting, he hawks like loogies. Of this like vitric thing, and I'm like, oh, that's gross, but yeah, it's very thematic.
So you got basically a fat tiefling hawking loogies at people.
Yeah,
and he's not sweaty. He's slimy.
Well, it looks like he's kind of sweating, but yeah, he's got like a greasy slime to him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much that coats. I don't know if it is like a sweat or if it is. Well, I'll have to ask Anthony about it. But we've got that. We've got an Arachno, which is basically like a spider person, played by Megan, and she is a Void Warlock, I think. And that is.
Are you guys all warlocks?
No, just them two. I just happen to have warlock powers as my race power because I'm a psychic bug person, formed the bug person, which is it's like a space Scaram, which is one of the beetle people I made in one of the monster mashes that we do on Thursday nights. And
has anybody complained about the way your character talks yet?
No, not yet. I think everybody's got a voice, so it's kind of no. Because
he clacks dice together as he talks.
I know. I take a whole bunch of 20-sided dice and kind of roll them in my hand while I speak, kind of normally, and that's because they all, previously in session 0, it was creepy to just hear me speak into their mind just by looking at them. So I move my mandibles, so it's kind of mimicking them talking. Also, it's kind of like there's an actual language that the Skyrim speak, but they only speak it to each other because it's hard for people to understand. So it's kind of like sub-vocalizing my actual language while I'm thinking common verse thoughts to them. So I'm five-hand Stan, which is the arcane trickster, and then we've got not Colonel Sanders, but Kienata is playing a Horizon Walker, a ranger, and he is basically super chefing it up. And
from what I saw from the first session, anyway, he totally stole the show.
Yeah. He's like the what's the party dad in a way, because he keeps Nub Nub out of trouble, which is played by Ben Puffin Forrest, and Nub Nub is a little tiny like bear like
Ewok. He's an Ewok.
Kind of like an Ewok.
He's an Ewok without elbow and knee joints, which makes him a teddy bear.
But he's a mighty warrior of his people, and he plays a druid. And he gets into a lot of trouble because he's very interested in pleasing certain people in the party, and he'll go to great lengths and danger to do so. So it's kind of like a dynamic of keeping him out of trouble while also letting
He's
him
really good. He's
explore.
like an ace pilot, though.
Oh yeah, That's great. He crashed exactly where he meant to crash that one time.
So we got a comment from the familiar is like sentient flan. Elfbait says, tasty slime. Elfbait also loves the rattling dice. Truemate says an all-warlock party, that would be interesting. Comrade2261 says, sounds like an Invader Sim character. So lots of cool love going for that particular game.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. We're 2 sessions in, and
yeah, James Leslie's. Did you say this one? Ingest Quest is really the best cooking show RPG going. Love it. That is my favorite.
Yes,
quote.
that is my favorite as well. So I'm pretty sure it's the only cooking RPG show.
Come on, man! Don't deflate him.
But it is a lot of fun, and it's a nice kind of companion to WebDM and Pruitt's show in Spelljammer, because they're kind of concurrent. They're kind of happening in the same universe at the same time. But he's got I feel like the more serious, like we're gonna try and save the multiverse or whatever, and we're gonna
win this cooking competition.
We're gonna win this cooking competition. We're gonna go see the races afterwards, and we're gonna do the best awesome documentary of multi-planetary cooking show ever.
So Zareth Gaming says, I would buy a Nub Nub plushie.
So one of the things you guys have to do now is do like in one of the episodes, like your cooking crew gets picked up by like a reality TV show, and so you have to do breakaways for each of the characters, something where they're just talking to like the character.
That would be funny. I'd like that.
Oh well then of course like you've got the cameraman and the sound crew that are NPCs.
No, you don't need them because you're just gonna have orbs. You're just gonna have magic orbs to record.
That's less funny when they get put in dangerous situations.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you gotta get a cameraman eaten. That's not funny if it happened in real life, but
that's why you guys don't the show doesn't happen, because there's too much lawsuit money from the dead and injured employees.
Oh, from the last time.
From the last, so the show never airs, but they filmed it.
What I'm picturing is like one of you guys get eaten by a monster, and the producer comes on set and he's like, "Look, to the cameraman, you got to go where the actor went. we need film of this."
Yeah, so we're all having a lot of fun over there in a non-standard Spelljammer game.
Aboleth sashimi.
Making a cookie show with a dungeon crawl would be fun. Now we go for the freshest. Yeah, there you go. Now we go for the freshest Aboleth sashimi.
Yeah, so you got just shattered the fourth wall. So you guys are obviously having fun over there. People seem to be enjoying the show. Mm-hmm. It was definitely cool. The fact that Ben did art for you guys.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the art. It gives a nice overall theme to the show itself. Yeah, but he did all of us, and we're like, can we use this in the show? Seriously, because he did it for his ad for his it's going to be streaming soon advertisement on his channel. And we begged pretty hard to let us use it in the show. And he's a really cool guy, so he was totally into it.
So when is Hold of the Mordanes going?
Hold of Mordanes, I am playing again tonight, and I have to do a ton of editing. I'm getting backlogged. I got to do a ton of editing to get it back.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, backlogging games. What?
Gameplays are so much easier when you just stream them.
Yes, they are.
And they just happen, and they go on it on the interwebs.
I think, well, if we take a break for summer or something like that, I'm gonna get it all edited, and I'm gonna be like, guys, let's just stream it. No, almost no editing, very little prep time as far as video is concerned, and we can just roll with it.
On the plus side, though, the way you're doing it, it does like get rid of any of the kind of like flubs that happen when you're live.
Yeah.
Like there's not once you're live, there's nothing you can really do.
Yeah. So if you lose the stream for a little bit, or if someone's like, oh, my kid is screaming and I have to deal with it for 5 minutes, we can just take a break. But when we're streaming, we're like, what are we supposed to do now?
So last night when...
Especially as the DM.
Yeah, yes, I did have to actually leave the other day for 5 minutes because I heard a thump and a really loud crying. I'm like, I have to go take care of that right now.
So when a player has to leave the table because his house might be set on fire.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, that kind of stuff can happen. Did happen last night. Yeah.
I missed that. Wow.
How old is the kid?
I don't know. Ask him. He's probably in the chat. Usually is.
I hope everything's okay with your house. I was about to yell it at the thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not that old.
I don't actually see him here.
Yeah, I haven't seen him either.
So
it might be because he's homeless now.
No.
I hope everything's all right.
He came back.
Well, he had to finish the game. He couldn't do anything about the fire.
His house was not set on fire. There was no, major catastrophe. We finished off the game and what have you. But we just played without him for a few rounds of combat.
Yeah, another thing I do with it is when I'm doing the editing is I cut out like when we're all rolling for initiative, and if for some reason it can still take like over a minute sometimes if everyone's not on the same page. So I just cut that out because we do a lot of RP in the game. And it's like, well, I don't want the rolling in combat to kind of also be slowed up with that kind of stuff. So it's just a couple minutes, but I like to cut it out when I can.
Yeah, James Leslie, he might be painting scorch marks today. Doug, let's give a shout out to Ted on Saver Dice too. He was cracking me up last week. And this past week, I could not actually go on Saver Dice. I was without power for 26 hours. You guys might have noticed that our upload schedule was kind of a little off this week because on Thursday I had no power. So I actually
Wednesday into Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday into Thursday. So I ended up coming to Ted's house to work Thursday morning. Actually, I just packed up my stuff and I didn't know where I was going to work. I'm like, I didn't know I was going to like do a Dunkin' Donuts or a McDonald's and work or whatever. And I just ended up coming to Ted's. And so the 6 a.m. video went out at like 2 p.m. and the 4 p.m. went out at 6 p.m. So
apologize about that. It's not Dave's fault. It's Powers.
Atlantic Electricity.
I call him out, man.
Yeah, when there's a power outage, I'm like, I still need to do work, and it's safe enough to drive. I'm just going to drive until there's a Denny's that has its lights on.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. We got like a foot of snow, and it's like, I could have drove, but I really didn't want to.
So, he's like, Ted, can you help me out in some way, shape, or form? So I'm like, well, I got power. I didn't lose anything. Do you need me to run the live chat? And I
ran to the bank this morning, and one of the young lady that waited on me, she's like, I still don't have power. It's been 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, like they gave me a hard time because my wife works right next to where we live. Essentially, they were out of power. Usually they do direct deposit, couldn't because of not having power. Yeah. So they actually had to issue checks to them. And when I got to the bank, and it took way longer than it should have. I'm like, they're calling the police or something? What's going on? Because they took all my stuff and went to the back room, and she's just like, oh, we can't put this in right away because of whatever. And I'm like, well, she usually gets direct deposit. And then I went into the rigmarole of the story, and she's like, yeah, I don't have power yet either. So I'm like, well, at least we got it back in 26 hours at least, so.
Well, it's better than the 3 days. So.
That is definitely better. Especially when you run an internet business that requires power. And I do not have a generator.
Very true.
So, and that's what my buddy said. Why don't you have a generator? I'm like, I don't know, man.
Well, if you don't have power, you may also not, depending on what the situation is, you also might not have internet.
That is true.
So have you looked into arcane means as opposed to like?
Can you jack that into the internet?
I'm certain you could.
You need the correct transmogrifier.
That's definitely a special
I mean, I
connector or converter box or
think,
something.
Isn't that what this whole Starfinder thing is about? Electricity and magic all working together.
There you go.
So happy together.
Outpaid kids on treadmills. The kids are kind of lazy. I don't know how well that'll work.
David likes running.
Oh, nice, Ranger Roy. Ted, are you sure that was AJ who came back? That's true. It could have been Doppelganger.
Yeah.
You'd probably never know.
Pod person.
It's possible that, and I've never physically met him. Gamed together a lot. All right, so are we diving into stuff or kind of at the halfway point?
Stuff? Sure. What stuff do you want to dive into first?
Oh, we've got his stuff and then we've got my stuff.
Well, while Ted's getting that stuff, I'll go over the Patreon rewards for this month. So every month, shortly after, I guess, by the 10th, we put out the rewards for that month. So if you get into Patreon rewards before April 1st, you will be eligible for the rewards at that tier. And for Mage Forge, we have Rainbow's Triumph, which is a cool artifact weapon that showed up in Ted's game. And it's kind of like Ted's game weapon, but it's kind of not as well. So I've got a few things planned for that.
So Nate doesn't have all the powers unlocked yet, so he's like, you know what? I'm going to do my Dream Spear, and we'll just...
Dream Sphere?
Spear.
Yeah. The spear I dream about at night. And unicorns. I love unicorns. So for Monster Mash, we have the Fiendish Blood Golem, Servant of the Blood. For Friend or Foe, we have the Alicorn, Rainbow, the Ascendant Unicorn. For the Terrible Terrain, we have the Transformation Ritual, which a cult is attempting to stop.
Did you make a pony?
The transformation from occurring? No, not at all. It's a unicorn. They're totally different.
With a tramp stamp on it.
It may have tassely rainbow hair. I don't really know. Ted's creation, technically speaking. So there is a curse that is to be removed from an afflicted creature. And during that transformation ritual, the Servants of the Blood are trying to stop it. And then for Lost Lore, we have the Ranger archetype, Conclave of the Reclaimer, or also known as Cursed Breakers. And you'll just have to find out. If you want to get the Lost Lord, you can find out what that actually does.
All right, so there you go. Lots of cool stuff coming your way if you sign up for Patreon. You have to sign up by the 1st. And as Nate says, I usually send those out somewhere around 8th through 10th. And, it's really cool stuff.
And as far as I know, this is the last month for the old rollout, how we do it. So then we'll figure out exactly what the new rollout looks like from there.
Right, and the new rollout also is going to be a double release. So we're going to give the free month, and then you'll get the, that month.
All right, so... from Studio Woe, this was literally received in the mail today. Gruff, the Stuff of Nightmares. It's a cool card game. Dave and I had a chance to actually get to play this game at PAX Unplugged. We actually wound up giving a set away, a handful of months ago of, the full allotment. But this is an expansion to that game as well as a standalone. This is just a small portion of what's going to be in it. There's a new Kickstarter that's going to be starting for this particular expansion. Starts April 3rd. It's only going 2 weeks. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I'm certain that we're gonna include his stuff as part of our Kickstarter corner.
Oh yeah. So basically, you are mad wizards or mad sheep herders with a mutant billy ghost that you battle against each other with, and the idea is to break through and take out your opponent.
So the review demo deck covers the core experience of themes of the game. If this campaign proceeds the same way as the other 3 Gruff games, it'll unlock 15 total Gruffs, 3 troll bosses, and 7 shepherds. So it's going to be, as I said, comparable to the base game when it's all said and done.
It's got fun, kooky, crazy art.
So that's the first thing.
If you're into board games.
If you're
tabletop.
into the tabletop card games, board games, what have you. From Mythic Mint, we have these cool coin props that I'm going to try my best to not blind you. They're cool coins that are going to be coming to Kickstarter also in early April.
Are you going to show stuff? We might as well show some of these then. So, like one of the base cards. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. We try and evolve. We've tried to evolve past holding things up to you guys, but I guess on a live stream, there's not much else we can do. We had a better camera at least.
Yeah,
so it's fun art.
Focuses.
But the coins, he says that they're gonna come at a good price. I don't have access to the Kickstarter data yet, but they got a good solid feel to them. I like the art that's printed on them. It's good stuff if you're looking to have coins as props for your game.
Got a nice weight to them.
The leather bags he actually hand makes himself, and they're only going to be available during the Kickstarter because they're not mass produced. So if you like coin props, this is something to definitely check out. And the last thing that was sent to us this week, Westbound RPG is a product that is out there. If you want to be a Wild West RPG kind of game, this is something to check out. This is Dust and Dragons from the company Island of Bees. Not only did they send us this, supposedly there's 2 more copies on the way that we're going to be able to give away. And if that's not enough, still have to figure out how this is going to happen. But I've got 20 download codes to be able to send out to the masses, to you guys, and therefore 20 people are going to be able to get an ebook for free.
Just put them all online at once, and whoever gets to them first wins.
Be like digital punching.
Which is funny because you started talking about wanting to do a fantasy western genre mashup. I think when he had started at the same time,
right around the same time that I was like, hey, this would be a cool idea. He's contacting us about, hey, can I send you a book?
Because wasn't it a viewer suggestion, or was it in the NAG group or Facebook?
Might have been a Facebook conversation as well. So there's definitely people.
It took us a while to get around to it.
People definitely have an interest in genre mashups. So, but there you go. Thank you to Island of Bees. Thank you to the Gruffs. Was it Studio Woe? And thank you to Mythic Mint. Go check out the stuff.
All right, we did all the things. We're out.
Now we still got 23 minutes of chatty chats.
The choppy internet problem. Maybe. Well, if it is, I don't know what to do about it. So there is that. Let's see. Here, you guys keep talking.
Yeah, sure. So, I'll just snag this.
So what level is your Mordane's game at the moment?
Level? I believe they're 5th, trying to make it to 6th.
Trying? Is there a chance that they might not succeed?
Well, they don't know it, but they fought a shadowy, icy creature that was pretty much a bone devil, which is like a CR9.
Oh, wow.
Minus an arm.
Okay.
So it was a one-armed, it was a reskinned bone devil.
Okay.
So it was pretty powerful, and thankfully everybody made it out of that alive. So if I do something silly like that again and almost kill them, then because it had a breath attack, which could have knocked down all 3 of the people that it hit, but they all saved. So it could have gone way differently had that not been the case that happened. And that is where we're at right now. So we're still low level. It's been I'm on session 12, I think, tonight. And which tells you how far behind I am, internet, on what episode is already up. So again, apologize for that, but it's coming along, and I think I like the slow level progression because they get some items here or there, and they think of different interesting ways of using them. And I think if they gained levels too fast, I feel like that kind of like slow character development would kind of be eclipsed by all the new abilities that are constantly. So
yeah, I definitely see that. I know. We're definitely seeing some issues with the streaming in the comments. I don't know if what you did was able to
It should be back now.
resolve everything.
But there's a delay. So
is another technology temper tantrum occurring?
yeah, apparently, yeah, it lost it, but it should be back. Well, it's jumping. We shall see.
One of the things was the first campaign. The first game for the Spelljammer with Nerdarchy Doug as the head was totally fine. Everything went well. But the second one, he kind of had a bit of a freeze, like twice. But everyone else was fine. Okay. So it was like only the DM had an issue. It was peculiar. But I've had issues with the streaming, and then I've had it be absolutely fantastic before. So it kind of makes me wonder. Oh yeah, I was trying not to give out any spoilers, Nerdarchy Doug. But if you say it, then that's fine.
He's allowed to spoil.
Yeah.
Question: best way to get my Goliath wizard armor?
Be one of those Arcanomancer guys that get the Arcano armor.
Is
that in UA still?
I don't know about that. You could take armor training. You could multi-class. You could cast mage armor. Those are the best ways that I'm aware of.
If you want to basically be like a low-end fighter mage, you could do the fighter first level and then go to whatever wizard you want, because that'll give you deck Q. You can run around plate mail and cast spells.
Oh, half plate.
Not if you take fighter first. Right?
Oh, if you take fighter first, yeah. Yeah, fighter wizard is always better to take fighter first, because then you get the full allotment of your armors.
But if you want to be more of a dex-based fighter mage, then you would go the route of having the medium armor as the best, and then it doesn't matter, if you're doing, because if you have a 14, 15 dex, then you're totally fine doing the fighter level secondary, or you can sit there and spend feats to just. But I think one level of fighter kind of really.
Well, if you're gonna use any fighter, you got to go 2 levels to get action surge.
Well, yeah, because then you can slam out 2 spells.
I'm just saying, if you feel the need to multi-class out of wizard for fighter, you got to do 2 levels.
You don't have to, but it would be a good idea.
Oh man, next level 88. Wish me luck. Tomorrow, my PC is leveled up to 17, so tomorrow is my first session with 3 level 9 spellcasters.
Ooh, let the good times. Wish them luck. Think of all the monsters you can use now.
Yeah, isn't that where I am now? Aren't you guys 17th level?
Something like that.
So,
yeah,
I don't know if did we just level up again? Is that what it is?
I think so.
That's high.
So
high stuff.
We're closing in on the end.
Yeah, we're down. What you guys got? 18, 19, so you got like 5 sessions left?
Yep.
I gotta say, all the really interesting spells, they tend to have really ridiculous component cost.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna true resurrect anybody anytime soon, because that's a really expensive.
Well, especially our campaigns, we don't give out nearly as much treasure anyway.
Yeah, well, it's like true resurrect, or I could get my own keep. Which one am I gonna do?
Well, it's okay. The monsters will certainly be casting ridiculous spells at you guys.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to just slam out some nice 9th level hurdy spells, but
well, yes, Nerdarchy Doug, that is my plan. I've already threatened, and it is absolute truth, that I will be using Void Magic from Kobold Press against them. It's just too much fun. James Leslie says Action Surge is fantastic, and he did use it last night, twice.
Yeah, it is a really powerful punch. And you know what? As a DM, I rarely expect them to do it. I'm like, oh yeah, they've got it, but they'll use it when they really need it. No, it's like, I need it the first fight we do, right now. And I'm like, well, that encounter's done.
All right, so Nate, this is probably a question better for you than I.
Okay.
Zaref says, any advice on getting back into live table games after a year of not playing?
After a year of not playing at all, or a year of not playing in person? Well, I guess let's say in person after not playing for a long time.
Yeah, I think that's what
I've
it is.
seen Zaref play, so So if he's talking specifically about him, then I would say, there are certain things like host-wise. Are you hosting it or are you having somebody else host it? And then there's considerations for, is it long enough that people need to either bring food or you're going to order something or you're going to craft something, whatever it is. Normally you order stuff because everyone wants to play the game instead of cooking food. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. You don't just have to worry about yourself. You got to worry about everybody. Because if someone's cranking and hungry at the game table, that's just going to mess up everything for cohesion.
To me, I think all of those things, like, it's going to get voiced. You don't have to necessarily be thinking about it. That's going to be one of those things that someone's going to be like, dude, are we doing a food run? Are we ordering pizza? Or, what's going on here in that regards? It's going to get said if people are thinking about it. To me, I look at it more of like the social aspect. If you're re-entering an existing group that you haven't gamed with in a while, and your friendship has kind of like not been kept up, then you want to reestablish that friendship and figure out what that new relationship is, because all relationships always wind up going through these twists and turns and evolutions as we age and move on in life. If you've stayed friends with them, just haven't been able to commit to the gaming group angle of it, then you have to be like, okay, well, what's the current idea of the group? How am I best going to fit in? Your first character back, you don't want to be like, I'm bucking the system and I'm making, this character that isn't going to get along with anybody. It's going to set some bad blood right at the start. So like, to me, I think that's the focal point of your mindset. You need to like, how do I mesh with the table both as a person and as a character?
Kienata says your crock pot is your best friend for feeding the gaming group, and John Clark says the fourth pillar of D&D, food. True, very true. And the crock pot thing got me thinking of pulled pork and roast beef sandwiches. Yum yum yum. Now I'm hungry.
I made pulled pork tacos this weekend.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So,
yeah, give me a minute. I'm crafting some food. Yeah, so that's what I consider just like, the normal stuff you do for hosting a group of people, and, keep those in mind, because I haven't invited a group of people over my house in a long time, so, and I've held a game once for like 2 people, so it really wasn't like a big D&D event, so I'd have to consider a whole bunch of things before I had a whole group of people over to my house.
The early stages, we were always gaming at Steve's, and Steve moved around quite a lot. Eventually, once Dave and my sister settled in, it was like, okay, this is the gaming spot, mm-hmm. And Dave even went and got a gaming table made, for the size of the group that we had, and when he was moving again, it's like, all right, we need a new place, and from that moment on, my place became where we gamed, and it's pretty much been that way for 98% of our sessions. Now it's like I'm happy to be like, hey, this table here, I get to open up to friends and fellow gamers and roll funny shaped dice and talking silly voices and play make believe.
And ate pizza and tacos and other things.
Oh, tacos. I haven't done tacos in gaming in a long time. That's a thought. Do we finally have a Dave back?
No.
No?
No.
Had to go climb on the pole outside and check things.
We don't want to hear about you and dancing on poles, Dave.
With style.
You do.
No.
Proficiency.
Oh, this beard, baby. So you guys are talking about food at the table?
Yeah. Zareth wanted to know how do you prepare yourself for getting back into live play after taking an extended amount of time off?
Like a year.
Yeah. I don't think there's really much to do, man. Order some pizzas and throw some funny shaped dice.
So we discussed a couple things to look at, things to consider. Nate from the hosting and food aspect, and me from the social and mechanical aspect.
I always prepare like 3 times the amount of food for everything.
Cole Sam's, Dave on the pole. Where's that live stream? That's special Patreon level. Very special.
So special you can't even find the low reward level.
So send.
It's on the dark web.
Oh my gosh, the thing I didn't know existed until Scott's Nerdarchy Saves the World game.
Oh, you didn't know there was a dark web?
No, I didn't.
Now you do.
And now I know the kind of things that are on it.
Why did you go onto the dark web?
No. You're pole dancing.
Oh.
Well, my nephew apparently knows how to navigate it quite well. So.
Yeah, I don't even know how you get to the dark web.
I don't either.
We're innocent nerds in a crazy world.
I'm certain there's people that are going to start putting in the comments about how to do it and whatnot.
So Scott Durham, any advice who hasn't played since 2nd edition AD&D, preferably with folks at least in their 40s? Not sure how I'd go around the kids. I'm not sure. Are you looking for older gamers? Is that the actual question? Dave on the web at dark. Scott,
he's doing second. He wants to do 2nd edition.
Well,
no, he hasn't played since second.
Since 2nd,
Yeah.
okay.
So he's like, any advice? I mean, of all the editions to convert to, 5th edition is the easiest to learn. Dive in and have fun with it. I mean, that's.
It also sounds like he wants older gamers, like in their 40s. Not you guys. Almost
I'm
you.
not there yet.
Almost you, Ted.
Yeah, we're not old enough for this guy. Sorry.
Dave
But
is, though.
if you
Dave's
wait
totally fine.
wait till August, I'll qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say there's plenty of online groups for all different kinds of gamers, and you could easily hop into a few games that way, get used to the system, and then start hunting locally for like a group if you want to game in person all the time.
If you're looking to game online, we do have Nerdarchy, the newsletter, where you can learn how to game with us. Also, signing up for Patreon, even $1 a month, gets you an extra chance to game with us each month. Just saying.
And there's also the secret Facebook group.
But there's no guarantee that you'll get the game, and it's definitely not. It's only once a month, so.
Well, I'm saying it's a chance. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, there's also the super secret Facebook group.
The Safe Book group, right?
Safe Book group. Company of the Nag. And there is a place where you can go and ask people to game. Also, our Discord. I'm sure moderator will put a link in the chat, or there'll probably be a link in the description someplace. There is a looking for group channel in our Nerdarchy Discord as well.
So, John J., can you recommend software to generate dungeons and world maps? Well, the Saver Dice games, right? At least the one I'm in right now, is being sponsored by Pyromancers.com, Dungeon Painter Studios. They have some pretty awesome maps that you can, play around with and do great campaign prep for that. So I would check out them. I know Dave has at times used, Donjon. Is that right?
I think that's the one where you just like boom and it's like random generation.
Populate
of something.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another good one.
So, Kienata has a very important question. When in August, Ted? When in August?
You want my birthday? Is that what? That's what. Okay, I know you want to send me gifts. I understand. That's cool. You just have to.
This present, why is it ticking? This smells like anthrax.
All right, well, it's 10 days after Dave's birthday. I'll tell you that.
Ah, see. My birthday's the 1st, so there. I just cracked the case for you wide open.
Less Ted can't add.
I've been playing RPGs for years. I think I'm good.
Nerder Doug says Hexographer is great too. There's like tons of tools out there.
You've made it through THAC-O. You're really good at certain levels of math.
All the THAC-O. Yeah, but that's only like weird math.
Yeah, it is a bit peculiar.
Okay, I survived 3rd edition. That's enough math. Calculating all the different ways. I mean, you guys know the story of like, all right, I pulled out like all the monster manuals and made like a ridiculous, CR70 monster that had like, was it 32 templates or whatever on it. Like, let me make this just bizarre monstrosity. And it started off with that super elf in the one book that by itself it was like a challenge 22. Yeah, ridiculousness.
A challenge 22 elf.
Yeah.
Then it's not called like Feylord or something. It's actually like a race. Wow.
Do you remember what they were called? No, it was the super elf that had like all of the things that you would think like a super elf would have. All of the nature powers, all these different cool spells. It's been a long time
So
since
like
I
an
thought about
archdruid plus
Yeah.
magic user plus an elf.
Yes.
They're like mystical beings, if I recall.
Yeah. But
Were they like demigod elves in a way?
No, they were like really fey elves.
Yeah, okay.
They're like demon elves.
Oh, all right.
the Eladrin on steroids.
All right. So it was the Fabios.
And some other drugs.
the elven Fabios plus some.
But I mean, it was probably out of the epic level handbook. I don't think I have.
Lachey.
Who
Aaron Parks.
Aaron Parks, you are awesome. Thank you.
Plus 10 nerd points.
Demir wants to know, are you guys excited for the new book?
The Morning Canaan's Tome of Foes.
Tome.
Did I say
Tomb.
tomb? Did I say tomb?
No, I'm saying tomb.
Yeah,
I want the tomb. I
Yeah,
want the tomb version.
the misprint mock-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Tome of Foes looks really cool. I've been kind of looking at the sneak peeks on D&D Beyond for it, and I'm excited.
I think you should get you should have the book that's like, it's a mausoleum, and it's like, here's all his defeated enemies. That's the Tomb of Foes.
You just
Nothing to
stretch it apart.
fight. Nothing. Just a little blurb about them.
You stretch it out, and it becomes like a nice, artistically designed DM screen.
Oh, this is my first ever kill. This is a goblin.
Another Doug foam of toes.
Well done, sir.
And honestly, like, I think when they talked about it and launched, it was when we were filming that day, and I talked to Doug afterwards, and he told me about it, and he saw the misprinted book first. So he's telling me all about the Tome of Foes, or the Tomb of Foes. I'm like, Tomb? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I had screen captured, was it James and Mike Mearls talking about it on their Friday show. And I had screen capped them both holding them up, and one says Tome and one says Tomb.
Oh, nice.
Because it was like, because they were just trying to mock up to get it out. Yeah. So it was really cool to see
The faux pas.
the different draws. And I wonder if at one point it was, would have been considered a tomb if they were going to maybe include more adventures or something.
Yeah.
Or,
There, I don't know why I'm remembering now, but there's totally a comment I meant to call out earlier when we were talking about the metal dice.
Yeah.
And someone was like, hey, and if you're using a picture frame,
Oh.
that
was actually James, who was a player in my game last
yeah,
night.
make sure you pull out the glass first with metal dice.
If you're going to turn a picture tray into a dice, a picture frame into a dice tray, take out the glass.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to replace that with some plexi first, I think.
James is an author on the website. We were talking last night, and apparently he's kind of with his gaming group or with people that he game with are like, yeah, we're gonna do all this stuff, and you're gonna run the YouTube channel. So yeah, so he might become a
YouTuber,
a YouTuber in the somewhat near future.
Well, he's already an epic level moderator on like everything we do.
It is true.
Yeah.
Zaref Gaming, if toes are still foaming, see a doctor. But after how many hours?
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
Maybe.
Oh, you kids understand that reference?
Just reading the comments. They're all talking about foam and toes now.
Excellent. No more questions.
I fear it was like Ted said, Morty's Vault of Defeated Enemies. That'd be fun.
So I'm going to need a recap for tonight's game. I don't remember what we did last.
We did stuff, unrolled dice, and we talked
Didn't
things.
we like attacked a fort or something?
I think so.
And lured them out.
That's a problem with not gaming
For months.
Yeah. Not gaming regularly. It's a challenge. But,
Heck, from week to week, I need to recap. That's why my players recap the last session.
Yeah.
So I know it happened.
Yeah, without emails from my players, I'd be like, "Oh, thanks for asking about this because I completely forgot it existed."
Well, sometimes my players are awesome, and like Kurt actually does a write up every session, and that helps me immensely. But sometimes the players are like, oh, I want you to do this, and they forget.
Yeah, or you say, write down a magic item you want,
and
no one does. I already have my magic item, that's why I didn't ask for one.
John J. wants to know if it's okay to plug an app that he thinks is going to be amazing for our hobby.
Is this the same one that you that somebody emailed us about?
I don't know.
There's an app that somebody messaged us about yesterday, talking about it's essentially looking for group kind of thing.
It should absolutely be a swipe left or right, though.
Speaking of recap, I have a week off for for the player characters. They're waiting for someone to come back from traveling that they need to speak with, and they don't want to leave and kind of like miss them. So they're waiting for a week. So they're going to be like carousing and doing downtime stuff. I kind of just want to let them have a free week of nothing crazy happening, but I also kind of want to like throw a little thing into the works. So I'm up in the air on decision-making process for that. What's going to happen to them tonight? So I'm looking for suggestions on either interesting things I could have, like social encounter-wise, or just like letting them run through the week and doing exactly what they want.
Have you considered a Furbolg wizard who's got a simulacrum or multiple of them and speaks with a Canadian accent?
No, I hadn't. But that could work.
Because that I fully believe is going to be the character's favorite NPC in the Critical Role game.
Oh, okay.
He is quite hysterical. Doesn't abide by people being dirty in his shop.
Oh, all right.
He prestidigitates anyone that's dirty clean.
It's free cleaning. I like that.
Yeah.
He's also been known to dry them.
Well, that almost got weird.
Dry them like mummy dry them, or dry them like...
Their clothes are wet.
Oh, okay.
But speaking of Critical Role, I actually wanted to mention this during the video and totally slipped my mind. I was watching yesterday, and my daughter sees what's going on, and apparently her favorite is Molly Mock because she thinks he's a sheep person.
A sheep person.
Because he's got the curved horns.
Ah, yes.
He's purple and he's got sheep horns. So Molly is her favorite.
Oh, that's an idea. James Leslie used the carousing table in Xanathar's Guides, Nate.
Yep, and Deba is Urban Thief Chase. I like that. I actually have Urban Chase charts.
They should just shop. The whole episode session, they should just be shopping.
No, we've done almost a 2-hour session of shopping and other things in RP before, so I'd much rather not have that occur, which is why I'm just letting a whole week go by. But I like that the chase. There's something was stolen. They just don't know it was stolen yet. So that could be a thing, is hunting down the person and chasing them. And yeah, I was going to use the carousing table for someone who's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out for a night on the town. We've done some cool things. They revenged a merchant that passed away who was really beloved in one of the taverns. So that's like they can go there and get drinks basically whenever they feel like. So
according to Doug, there is a post on our site, 30 quick encounters.
Hey. I'll have to check that out too.
Go
Flash
through all of
Encounters
them.
by Megan R. Miller. Excellent. I will check that out. Add a few of those in. Yeah, so I want it to be kind of downtime, but not feel like it's just, we rolled on some charts and we said this stuff. So I want to make it a little more interactive than that.
I mean, you can always take that and just use it as a jumping off point.
Yeah, or Aaron Parks. I don't want them to end up through a portal to Sigil.
Man?
They'll never want to take downtime again.
There's so much going on in Sigil, though.
There is true.
Lady of Blades, whatnot.
The Lady of Pain.
Lady of Blades, isn't that StarCraft?
Lady of Pain. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got that crazy face mask thing with all the blades. Yeah.
So someone did ask over here, Rodney Harris, have any of you guys played a campaign where players' end goal was to ascend to godhood? No. There's actually a whole RPG games built around that.
Was it God something or other? Godbound. Kevin Crawford.
That's one. And there's others as well.
The problem with something like that is if you're looking to play in the same world with each campaign, you then have to deal with, okay, well, the world has now changed and there's a new god, or there's been a change of gods, and you have to deal with that, and it's a lot harder. It's like, can I worship my last player character as a deity? It just seems a little weird.
He was that cool.
James Leslie, there's also Limitless Encounters 2 book that just came off Kickstarter as well. They got Exalted, someone else has mentioned, is another game. So yeah, there's a few. I think one of the Worlds of Cypher was one of those as well. I think that setting's already out as well. So there was quite a few. They're just the ones I can think, we can think of off the top of our heads. There's so many RPGs.
There are many. So
that's for sure.
Looks like we are past our time. We still have some more videos to shoot.
Oh, we are.
It goes by quite fast.
You were, running around and dancing on poles or something like that. So.
Well, yeah, that makes the time fly. So, guys, until next time,
stay nerdy.